So good evening and welcome to the Highgate Selectboard meeting for Thursday, March 17th, 2022. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance.
Recording in progress.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming. Are there any public comments?
Chairman, I just have one that has been brought to my attention to the Highgate residents since I'm the messenger. I want to thank the voters first for getting out and vote, whoever went out and vote, we appreciate it. Secondly, thank you for the rescue squad. This has been brought to my attention quite a few times. This is the second time they voted on hand care and people wants to be finished with it. And this is just what I've been hearing from town residents, so I'm just bringing it to the board. This is the second time that we voted on it. And they don't wanna keep bringing it up every 3 years. They said, you heard it from the voters, this should be it. And I'm just telling you what people has told me.
That's not legal.
Okay, that's why I'm asking.
Yes, that's a contract over $5,000, so it has to go.
Okay, that's all I'm asking,
Yeah.
because people has asked me, and I said, I get,
And unfortunately, the vote was too close to
okay.
make that.
So it's not legal, okay, that's what I need to know, because everybody's been brought it up to me, and I didn't know, and I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that I'm telling them right. Okay,
Yeah, no, we have to abide by the P's and Q's.
okay. So if somebody brings it up to me, now I can just say it's not legal.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm asking, is I just want to make sure that I give the people the right directions.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep, we have to follow the rules.
okay, that's fine, it's just, I didn't know, that's why I'm asking.
Yep. Okay. Heidi, you want us, you and what do you want to do, our village core planning grant hearing?
Before we get to that, we have Marlena Valenta wanted to just talk to you briefly about window dressers.
Okay.
Marlena, are you?
Yes. I'm here. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Perfectly.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you for having me. I'll try and keep it quick. I'm sure you have a lot to address. So I just want to introduce myself. I'm the new energy and climate planner for the Northwest Regional Planning Commission. So if you as a town need any help, have any questions, I'm here to support the towns, offer help. So feel free to reach out to me. Also, I'm putting together a project currently here in Franklin and Grand Isle County. Window Dressers, it's a great nonprofit that basically offers really affordable window inserts that help people keep their homes warm, especially great around here where we have an older housing stock. People's windows tend to be a little less efficient. So we sign people up, we measure their windows, and then we gather in November and build all of the inserts together. Low income families can get them completely free without any need to prove their income. So it's really easy and it's really helpful. So I sent all of the information. You should have it in your packet. I just want to make sure it gets out to the community, as many people know about it as possible. Please feel free to share this with your neighbors, share this with people you know, and really stress that people can sign up without feeling stressed about paying. If it is a burden, then we offer help with that. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me, and there are Facebook posts about it on the NRPC page. You can share that. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions or understand what she's talking about? So it's available to help residents. So there's no stigma involved. It's just another way for the state to help you be more energy efficient.
Yep. And anyone can get them, business residents, renters, anyone.
So it's like a film you put on the windows.
Well, it's a frame. Go ahead. Did you hear the question, Marlena?
No, I didn't.
Could you just describe exactly what it is? Is it a
Yeah,
flat?
absolutely. And I actually have a little mini one here. So I'll show you. It's a pine frame with two levels of or two layers of a thin plastic. It's kind of like a really strong saran wrap. So it's completely see-through, but it creates extra air barriers with your windows. So they save about a gallon of heating fuel per square foot of insert. So they are super efficient. And they have a foam so that they slide in and they stay in your window. There's no need to nail them or anything. They, come in and out really easily. So that also makes them great for renters. They pay for themselves in less than 2 years. So yeah, that's kind of what they look like.
Are they a one-time use or multiple year use?
They're supposed to last up to 10 years, and you can get them rewrapped if the plastic wears out after that amount of time. You can get them rewrapped at another community build for $15. So, not too bad. And the frames themselves are really sturdy. They seem to last a really long time.
Good.
Yeah.
And the number on the phone.
I appreciate your time.
So your number's right on the flyer, and Sue Coda is thinking she might reach out to you.
Yes.
Fantastic. That's great. I love to talk about it anytime anyone needs any questions or answers. So fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Okay, any other questions or?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Have a great rest of your meeting.
You too.
Thank you. Just for the record, my screen is frozen, so you can't tell, but in addition to Marlena, we also have Ty just popped in, and Vern is on the line as well.
Ty, Marlena, Vern, and whoever that is.
Right.
Let me kiss me. Somebody kiss me.
Yeah, who is? There's a participant with a name on their icon that starts with Buddy. Can you tell us who you are, and did you want to speak under public comment? Unclear, and unfortunately, I had Matt Bouchard go through my computer to figure out why it's freezing. Did a bunch of updates, and we suspected it was the webcam, that we're trying it tonight without the webcam, and that's not the problem. So hopefully we can get this resolved before the next meeting, because it makes it hard to know who's on the line.
Okay. Village Core.
So tonight was a required hearing for a grant that the Village Corps is wanting to apply for. And this hearing is designed to let the public know that we would be applying for $55,000 in Vermont Community Development Program funds, which would be used to accomplish the following activities. And it will be used to create a master plan for the Village Core master plan property. In the packet, you have the budget, and our intention is to use hours, in-kind hours, as our match. And I spoke with the program, and he said that they can't use the whole board hours like I had hoped we would be able to use. They can use specific board members with specific talents for different projects. But even without that, I have an estimated $5,000 in time, and then another $230 for Shelley's time. So we think we're okay to be covered. But if not, there might be a couple $100 that we would have to kick in. Do you want to talk about what the budget is for? What the budget? Do you have that? I have some on the table if you need a different one.
Let's give me this back.
You wanna keep those, Sue?
Yes.
You can have them.
It's the research on the Steinhauer place, for one thing. And another thing is if it's worth restructure or tearing down, then the libraries, the study for the library over there and stuff. There's a lot of stuff we gotta do, a lot of stuff. But, and for public outreach on some of the stuff too. And like a final designs, plan, library stuff, that's like 15,000.
And those are the two biggies, the
Yeah.
library and
Yeah,
creating an RFP for the
Yeah.
commercial use.
yeah. That's 10,000 for that one, 5. For the treatment.
And Sue, I apologize, you are also on that board.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And a lot of things they talked about, which I've been going to the meetings, is some of the stuff inside, say they decided to keep it, there's still a lot of stuff in there that they can use.
So whereas if we tear down the building and we're looking at the staircase and
Yes.
some of the cabinets in there with the cupboards, like with the bench underneath the window, maybe we can reuse them in the new library, like the cabinets with the bench. We could build that around the window, some of the wainscoting in there, maybe we can install it. Or the staircase, and maybe we can use some of the lumber for the,
Staircase, and I got an idea.
we could use for like bookshelves or, you know, different. But if we don't reuse it, we're looking maybe another option, if they're tearing it down so it won't cost us. Maybe have the Shelburne Museum come up and look at it, see if they'd be interested in the building. And let them tear it down and put it back up there. So we're looking at different options with that building.
I love to see the staircase, this is,
It's a nice staircase in there.
the thing is, the staircase, what I would love to see is have the kids going up this way, have the kids sitting down, bookshelf, sitting down in a bookshelf. That would be absolutely gorgeous, because that staircase is beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
But the town tells us to tear it down, and we're trying to rehab some of the nice wooden material inside.
There's gonna be some value there.
Yes,
It's
yes.
gotta be.
Yeah.
It's solid wood.
And, or Shelburne Museum that way, because we have to have it checked out for lead paint, asbestos, but so if we can donate the house to Shelburne Museum, if they want it, then we won't have that expense.
And you know that both of those are there, so
Yes.
we know that.
More likely.
Yeah, so
More than likely.
Bill, what, 1700s, somewhere down there,
17,
18.
18?
Yeah.
So you know all that stuff's in there.
Yeah.
Just in the siding and stuff, you probably get the asbestos. So we're looking at, you know, different, plus the sewer system, we gotta be off-site, cause you can't have enough room for a sewer system, cause of the property, you'd be interfering with the other people's wells and stuff, so, for the, so that's why we're looking in different areas for the sewer, that's part of the designs and stuff.
Does the board have any questions? Does the public have any questions about the village core and the grant that's pending?
So Woody, as far as the building,
Yes.
now, I know some people come and looked at it. So is it,
We got,
has it been declared that it isn't fit for us to do anything to it?
no, it hasn't yet, we got, estimates on restoring the place.
Yeah.
It's, $700 and some odd $1,000 to $900 and some odd thousand, if you go through the whole place. But there's different
So that,
sections, this is like important stuff to do right off, then a medium, then a low.
so it's still on the table as an option
Yes,
to keep it standing.
just keep it standing, yes.
Okay. And
The
that's,
main building. The
right.
The back
Put
part toward the garage, the back part toward the garage, you might have to come down, but the main
The
building,
main building itself will be there.
cause you got, estimate on doing the cellar walls, this is, stone foundation, dirt floors. Underneath the extension, the main building was this crawl space.
Right.
What they dug out to put a furnace in there. Roof, wiring, windows and doors is your main, and your plumbing was the main thing they were looking at, and that was over $100,000. About 200 and some odd thousand dollars to do stuff like that. But I don't know if there's grants out there that the town can get for it, or the taxpayer have to do it. So we're looking at different options. If there's grants, maybe we can get a grant to look at it. Maybe somebody might wanna buy the property and restore it themselves, like say Tyler Place or some other business like that. Turn it into a bed and breakfast, or like I said, the town says tear it down, we tear it down. Maybe a shop museum will take it, that way we don't have to expense of tearing it down.
So the options are, is it even open for a library too, or is that?
Well, library would be kinda hard to put it for a library,
Yeah,
cause it's a 2-story building, then you gotta make it handicap accessible.
yeah.
And it'll cost more to make it handicap accessible, then you gotta put all your fire extinguishers set up in it, the elevator, and so really for a library, that building would not be worth turning into a library. We're looking more by where the metal building is.
Yeah.
But not where it is over on the town property side, more for the library. Not back toward the school fence,
More where the town shed was?
Yes.
farther back though.
Right.
More toward the fence. That way you got the gate here for the fence where it goes on the school property.
Yeah.
Maybe the library can use that gate for the kids to go back to play and stuff, or you got the trail right there, and that way those kids don't have to come down, across the road to the library, they just come down the path and they're right there at the library. So that's a design for that, or stuff too.
Okay, any other questions?
Randy Connolly's coming in.
So you're looking at $1 million to restore the building.
At least $1 million, yeah, maybe more. All depends now with the price of the lumber, what it is now, you probably double
Well,
it now.
yeah, now it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have some paperwork somewhere with some of those appraisals with the pricing pot. I got one at home somewheres.
They did a historic assessment
Yes,
and gave us most of the pricing, and there's 4,500 in here to finish the last of the information. And then it'd be a matter of looking at what kind of grants are available for restoration versus what kind of funding is available for building new. So it'll be an issue that, you know,
it'd be up
so for,
to the town voters what they want to do.
Right.
Yep. And we've been doing a lot of work on a lot of this stuff with engineers, consultants, and different firms there.
Okay, if there are no other questions, we'll end that portion of the hearing, and would you like a motion from us to sign that?
please,
Please.
yes.
Yeah, please.
The town has to sign the resolution, and we'll be submitting the grant on April 12th.
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Vern, you still with us? Maybe.
I guess you guys can't see me, but I'm putting my thumbs up, trying not to talk. Aye.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, we can't see you,
Sorry.
bad timing. Randy, can you hear everything?
Yeah, sounds okay. My dog's barking, so that's the biggest difficulty.
Our,
Thank you.
Our screen is frozen, so just speak up if you need something.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So next is a recreation update. Ty, are you still with us?
I fell asleep.
Okay.
No.
Randy?
Hi, I'm here, but I wasn't prepared to give an update. Right.
Surprise!
If there's questions, I'm happy to answer if best I can. I guess I can try to give the best update I can.
Sure.
The spring programming has been loaded on my rec. I don't know, check it out, register. There's cornhole, there's turf tykes. Ty says he can't unmute.
Oh, yeah.
I just saw the chat come through Zoom. So I don't know. It'd be probably better if he could unmute and give the update for sure.
Maybe you should try going out and coming back in, see if it changes anything.
I'm thinking he's probably got something prepared that's a little better than me rattling off.
Do you want to do the check warrant while
Yeah,
you're waiting
we'll
to
move
see
on.
if he can come?
Yep. Ty, if you can get in, or Randy, if you want to text to Ty, we'll happily catch you after. So let's go on to the check warrants. Has everyone had a chance to look at the check warrants?
Yes.
Ty said he's getting in his car and coming over.
Okay. Randy, you're off the hook. Did I have a motion to sign the check warrants?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 So you can sound like a pirate now, Vern.
Okay, Wendy did give us an update for delinquent taxes. Things are looking very well. And while we sign this and wait for Ty, Wendy, would you like to?
You have minutes from March 3rd, which was that first meeting after town meeting, full of appointments and other stuff.
Okay, so has everyone had a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
Do we have a motion to sign the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, thank you. You have them over there, Sharon, to sign?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Really quickly, I wanted to ask you, the voters approved selling the property next to the cemetery on
Yes.
Landon Street. I did have a call today from an interested party asking when that was gonna go out for bid. So I didn't know if you guys had a time frame that you were thinking.
I'm happy to do it sooner rather than later and get that off our tax rolls.
I know we've done this plenty of times. I don't know if there's a starting bid or how that works, or if it's just pretty willy-nilly.
I think considering the size of the lot,
It's 0.12 acres, it's very
Right.
small.
It's of unfortunately little value to very few people, so I would say we would entertain bids, but at the discretion of the select board's approval.
Okay. Alright, so maybe we can get that posted next week or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is everyone good with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
okay. Let's see, so pretty much I haven't left the counter in a week, and for the next 2 weeks I won't, because we're just licensing dogs.
It's good you live close.
We are at 336, so that's a good place to be. They license by the end of March, no late fees. So people have been coming in, they've been mailing them in, they've been using the Dropbox, a lot of paying online, which is super convenient, so people have plenty of options. And we are pretty far ahead of where we were last year at this time, so that's a good thing. Our rabies clinic is, where's camera person? Taking a break? Find that camera over here, Todd.
We're having a heck of a damn time.
Can you see this? Yeah. It's like, where did you go? Thank you, Ty. Our rabies clinic is next Saturday, March 26th, at the arena from 9 to noon. Open to Highgate residents only 9 to 10, and then all others are welcome starting at 10. I've had a ton of phone calls.
Oh, wow.
We have one that day, and there's one in the town of Enosburg, so I think we're going to be very busy,
That's great.
which is a good problem to have,
The
so.
more protected our animals are, the better.
Yep, I have, Highgate Fire will be helping me, Richard. I have some rec members gonna help. The ACO will be there, the health officer will be there, me and my kids will be there, and we'll get it done.
Super.
So, I anticipate I'll get a lot more calls, and I think the only other thing I had was yearly you have to sign the warrant. Nobody wants to take anybody's dogs, but we do need to sign it in case we're put in a position.
So this,
The only thing I did have on the rabies clinic is to warn anybody that's watching, if it's cold outside, dress appropriately, cause you may be waiting outdoors longer than normal.
Yeah, we can fit a fair amount of people inside on the ice surface, but still, if it's that busy, there's a possibility they could be outside. This is Vermont, it is March, it could be 80, it could be 30.
or below.
Or lower. Good point, Ty, so.
Okay, so the warrant that Wendy is speaking about is for the animal control officer, and it says, by the authority of the state of Vermont, you are hereby commanded forthwith to impound and destroy in a humane way or cause to be destroyed in a humane way all dogs and wolf hybrids not duly licensed according to the law, except as exempted by section 3587 of 20 VSA, and you are further required to make and return complaint against the owner or keeper of any such dog or wolf hybrid. Hereof fail not, and do return make this warrant with your doings thereon within 90 days from the date hereof, stating the number of dogs and wolf hybrids destroyed and the names of the owners or keepers thereof. And where all unlicensed dogs or wolf hybrids in such town or city have been destroyed, and the names of the persons against whom complaints have been made, under the provisions of subchapter 1, 2, and 4 of chapter 193 of 20 VSA, and whether complaints have been made and returned against all persons who have failed to comply with the provisions of such chapters. So, this,
Yeah, so basically, please license your dogs, so we don't have to impound. We don't want to fine you.
and we certainly don't want to destroy
We
them.
certainly don't want to destroy anyone's animals. And I've yet to see that happen. So,
Yes, we've been very, very fortunate in that manner.
I'll make the motion to send the warrant.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 I
okay, that was it from me.
Okay. All right, Ty. Nice to see you.
Thank you. For some reason it wouldn't let me unmute, it said host needed to allow me to, so it was just easier to drive over.
There you go.
I'm gonna do a real quick update. I think we'll have Lee come one of your meetings in April and do a full update. But, ice came out on Sunday. Floor's getting washed, ready for the rabies clinic. Shortly thereafter, turf will be in and we'll be full swing with that in, April through June. There's a ton of programming on our website. Check it out. A lot of it's drop-in. Some of it's pre-registered. What else do they have for you?
And people can rent the arena as well, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So if you wanted to have a birthday party or whatever, you could contact the rec and set that up.
Right, yeah.
How much are you charging for that, in case somebody asks?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, but that's good to know, because sometimes I do hear people saying, well, do you know a place that you can rent, so, okay.
It's $40 an hour, I believe, for residents, and $50 an hour for non-resident.
Non-resident, okay.
But there also is ways that, if it's a whole day event, so it's not, but I don't know what the
Okay.
day rate is.
Okay,
But still, that's a
So cheap.
yeah,
yeah, that's very cheap.
that's cheap to have a covered building with facilities and by all means, reach out.
You guys do have a copy of our updated bylaws
We do.
to look at. Most of it, I believe, is just cleaning up some language. We discussed changing to a 5-member board because we were struggling to get that 7th member filled, and then this time around we had 3 letters of interest to be on board, so that's a good problem to have. So we chose to recommend we stay 7 this time around till you guys sign.
Okay.
And then the other thing I have is
Executive.
a couple executives.
Okay.
And again, we'll invite, talk to Heidi and fit Lee in for an actual full rec update
Yes.
in April.
Has everyone on board met me?
I don't think I have.
There you go. See,
There you
we
go.
were talking about that.
Yeah,
So no, it would be nice for him to come in and put a
I bought
face to a name.
signage from him for a company I work for, but I've never actually, I don't think I've ever actually met him.
He's a nice man, so very agreeable, so easy to deal with.
very works hard for us and gets the job done.
Yep.
We're happy.
Okay. So that's it for you, except executive?
I think so. If anybody
Okay.
has questions?
Any questions for Ty? Any questions for Ty? All right. We're zipping right along. Okay, Heidi.
I'm gonna start with the municipal roads general permit. It is time for us to submit. Highgate has done extremely well in keeping up with the required number of projects. So, we have until the end of 2022 to meet our quota, and we have done that already. So the projects that they do this summer, we're gonna try and claim those in the next round. And our road erosion inventory is not complete yet. We still have hours left on that grant we received. We got an $8,000 Better Roads grant. And so the interns are gonna continue to gather more information on some of the problem areas and develop more of a plan so that when we wanna apply, we've got a sheet a fax to apply with, so we're in good shape. So
Okay.
please sign that form.
And this is our Vermont Department of Environmental Conservation Watershed Management Division. So do I have a motion to sign?
I'll make that motion.
Or a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And each town contributes into the fund that then becomes part of the grants. And Highgate will have to contribute $1,350 in June. They'll send us a bill at that time. So I don't need anything from you on most of these items, so unless you have some questions, I will let you proceed. I do want to just mention that we were awarded that FEMA home buyout on the Macy Road next to our project site. And luckily, the funding has been upped to cover 90% of the project. So the homeowners will only have to cover 10% of the cost, which
That's
is a
good.
great help.
Yeah.
Great help. So FEMA money is more available now at this time. So I think we can slip into select board items. And one that I neglected to put on was your ARPA funding list. I think I put it in the packet, but I didn't put it on the report. In April, we are supposed to be able to present a draft spending plan. And we've had some luck lately in finding some coverage for the match. So one of the items on your list that isn't really covered is the Village Core Master Plan and the Library Capital Campaign. So I just wanted to put a plug in for that. If the town was able to contribute some funding to that, then that wouldn't have to come out of the taxpayers' pockets if you move forward with your library. I did hear that there will be more webinars coming up, but apparently the final rule that came out from the Treasury is much more lenient and allowable than the first, and that towns have wide discretion how they can use them. So I'll be learning a little bit more, but I think it doesn't have to necessarily be a result of COVID or something to that effect. So, the town can look at where they want to put the money.
Okay.
Did you want to make any decisions on that ARPA plan tonight, or do you want to, you meet again on the 4th?
The 7th.
7th, thank you.
So we have plenty of places to spend money, without a doubt. The rec department, we already know that they will receive $135,000 off the top of that money. You will be our priority off that money because you are the greatest sufferer from COVID, and that was what that money was spent for.
We appreciate that.
So that's only fair. I think the whole board is
Absolutely.
been in agreement with that right from the beginning. Having said that, we have Village Core, we have Airport, we have Library, we have the transfer station, we have the Macy Road. We talked last meeting about the mental health and food stability in our town. as different things. We also talked about Green Mountain Transportation and the ability to get more access to services that we might not have immediately in our town, which I think are all great ideas. And I think we need to just come to a point where we want to plug in the numbers. Do we have to have a plan for the entire 2-year amount or for only what we've received this year?
That's a good question. I've been assuming it was the whole amount, but it might be possible just to look up the first amount.
That's, I'm not waiting until like 2024 to spend this money.
We do, yes.
Yeah, this is just a
Yeah,
draft.
allotted now.
You'll be able to change it. It's not in stone. They just want to hear from you that you've been thinking about it and have a proposal.
So, if we do the entire transfer station amount, we will need $717,973 as the town match.
Well, that's the one that we're hopeful that the legislature will fund that match.
Right?
So that would take that burden off from the town. So I'd like to think about it that way, because if that doesn't go through the legislature, we still have an application in the Clean Water Fund.
For the whisper.
For the, yes, so, you know, I'd like to say that the town won't have that burden, and there are no guarantees, but it's looking promising.
Okay, so then do we want to strike that off this initial planning?
If you feel comfortable doing that, it sounds like that is how it's gonna turn out, is that you won't have to put that money in.
Nothing's written in stone. This is just a preliminary.
I really don't want to gamble.
Not a gambler?
Not over that. I don't know, I think we should. I know we gotta know, but, you know, that's a big chunk right there.
Yeah, no, I don't propose putting $717,000 in there. If we have 524 right now? Is that what it is?
Let me look that up.
Because village court's kind of hard to say which way we're going. So you don't want to put a lot of money there because we don't even know what we've been doing. Right, yeah, it's.
Because we might be selling the property for a business.
Right, and you're not sure, you know.
You don't know what the voters want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It looks more like just shy of 200,000. There's 142 and $50 in reserve, and then 50 was just voted in.
No, I meant for the total ARPA funds that we have for this year.
Oh, it's half of the amount at the top, so it's,
Oh, okay.
it's $1 million.
So, yeah, say 500,000.
Mhm.
So if you're taking off 135 right off, you know, that puts you right down. So you got, 7. Yeah, so, you have the Macy Road, which we know is gonna be a disaster. We also know that there's more transportation funding out there than there ever has been. and another case where we don't know exactly how we're going or how much it's gonna cost. Airport, those plans, we know we're gonna have some money that's gonna come to be needed. We're hopeful that we get the EDA grant, but again, we don't know for sure. Library, I'm sure the library trustees and many folks in town would be delighted to put some money into there as well. GMTA would need a conversation to see what we could do to provide those funds. And the mental health, it's my opinion, but I'd like to see some resources put into that where we can have, even if it's just community events through the summer that help draw some of these people in. And if that means renting a bus and picking up all of your older generation or people that are, for one reason or another, don't have mobility, picking them up and bringing them to the town and, you know, having a potluck or dinner dance or whatever, a block party, a family day, just having things throughout the year that kind of brings the town back together, that we do care about the residents here and we care about what they are.
Sharon, we did that a couple years ago, that was a big hit, when we did it over to the Nation property. Everybody really enjoyed it, I mean, and they've asked me if we're ever gonna do it again, and that was wonderful. It was, everybody got together, we had pictures up, and it was really, really, really nice, and I think people really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And I'd like to see posters, flyers, outreach for mental health. So people know that this is a number to call in the middle of the night when you're thinking about this is the end of it. People get in those positions and forget that there's other options, but there are. And sometimes it's just somebody to talk to.
So right now, Sharon, our biggest things are rec, and I feel this mental health, and this is what you wanna do with the town, older people. I think that ought to be behind the rec. That's what I think. I don't know how anybody else thinks about it, but I think getting out and getting the community.
Yeah, even if we hired a band and we all went into the arena and just had I don't care if you square dance, hip hop, bounce around, bump into each, I don't care, just come out and have fun.
People still square dance.
They do.
Heck, yeah.
Well, look what we did with the Hicktown, that was a big success.
Wendy talked about that, yeah.
We had a ball at the
You
Hicktown.
know, I think there's definitely enough good groups in the town to make it an all-day event, and it's nothing, this thing, to make it successful, one group isn't gonna make it happen, you know what I mean?
Right.
There's gotta be buy-in from everybody, from the fire department right up through to the select board,
And the other thing is, I'd like to see it stretched out over time.
right.
Because, yeah, it's great to have one event, but maybe one every 2 weeks or once a month.
So what kind of numbers you thinking about budget or something like that?
I don't think it would cost that much money, to be honest.
I don't either, but that's why I'm asking. I mean, you wanna go through a summer, through a year, we gotta come up with a number for a budget, and then
Is it something that you've talked about a band a couple times, is it something that you could put some of that money into what, you know, as summer sounds?
Piggyback on those.
Yeah.
And piggyback on those and bring in
Yep.
pony rides, I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
crazy with it, you know?
right, so the library has already scheduled Rusty Deweese to come. They would like to do a family day. And they're thinking about doing it at the same time they do Rusty Deweese, so you have family day in the morning and adults entertainment in the evening, afternoon. That could be one thing. Maybe we piggyback, like you said, on Summer Sounds and we add a few more bands or different kinds or
Food trucks, something.
yeah, just something to get out and hopefully not to stress out.
Anything else for the kids?
Yeah, so something not to stress out our volunteers either,
Right.
because our volunteers burn out too. I mean, we have some of the best volunteers there are out there. I mean, the people that work on these boards, the people that give and give and give and give, and you're one of them, need a break too. So there's going to be at least one of those events, Ty, that you don't work at. But your butt's gonna be there,
Yeah, oh yeah.
and you're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Even if we have to drag you out in the middle of the dance floor and just embarrass the snot out of you.
There you go.
But,
I can do that pretty good.
but I want everybody.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, we all work too damn hard. And it's been a hell of a 2 years.
Yes.
We need to make this as fun and as least labor as possible. And if I see you working on 2 events, I'm gonna say, nope, get off. You can't help. Because I want y'all to have fun.
And if people realize this ahead of time, Sharon, for the summer, especially the way the price of gas is, they're not, okay, Highgate's gonna be doing something, I'm gonna stay around and see what's going on. So I mean, that's another
Right.
thing to, plan ahead and,
What do you think, one a month? You thinking one? We need to nail this down.
What if, it's a good segue into the community visit, in one of your sessions, you may be able to get a whole bunch of people interested and come up with some
Right.
ideas.
It's a great idea.
The community
So that's the 29th.
The 29th
quality of
March.
life,
Yeah.
yep, so let's plug that event and make sure everybody knows they could come and help and plan
That's
this
a good idea.
event.
well, that is a good thing.
And we don't need 50 hours of your time. Come, give your idea. Maybe you're the idea guy or woman or girl or boy or
Or he or they or it.
whatever.
Whatever.
We'll take ideas from anybody. We're not proud.
And there'll be a meal.
Yep, there'll be a free meal. It's catered by the Phoenix House. Did we decide what we're having?
You are able to have both of the menu items that you requested.
Okay, so
Lasagna and turkey
turkey and ham.
dinner. I have to check if they can do both meats, but they definitely said they could do both.
The lasagna sounds great.
We didn't do chicken because,
Some people
you were upset about the chicken last time.
I wasn't, but
Except
I
for
just
the
didn't
chicken.
feel.
But just to, come out and give us ideas. I'd love to do one every 2 weeks. I don't know if we could pull it off, but we'd have to,
Like for July and August, I mean, you're talking June, July, August.
Well, there's already summer concerts.
They've got
Right.
dates
Most
booked.
weeks, July and August.
Concerts.
It's-
okay?
If we could
There's
get
a couple
So
of
just
food
fill in
trucks.
some
I think
spots.
it's a good idea. We just be able to come up with the number. We just need to figure out how many, and
Yeah, and I'm thinking,
it's the 29th, not gonna be too late to get input from people, and that's.
and I'm thinking May, June,
Are you?
July, August, September, October, November, December.
Go big or go home, baby.
I mean,
Yeah. Get rid of it.
December's your worst month for
Yeah, we do the Christmas
suicides
parade.
and depression.
Yeah.
Christmas parade is,
We could have a
Hear a lot about
giant, present swap. And you could steal from your neighbor if you didn't like your
That
present.
could get ugly, Sharon. That could get real ugly.
It could be a $5 limit,
Yeah, but that could still get ugly.
or it could be a $1 limit.
I see friends do that Yankee swap, they weren't friends anymore.
But if we did 2 a month until December, and I think you could get some voluntary input too, whether that be some donations here or there, or some other things that we might be able to round up once people understand what we're trying to do.
And getting some input from Lee at the 29th, if he's there, to what bands you can get for what money and what he's gotten for sponsorship so far for Summer Sounds. And what would help to make it real successful is gonna be.
Yeah, you'd be an important part of that puzzle.
Yeah. And like in Northern, like you can do like a skating party with a band there.
We've thrown it around a couple times too for the rec that we wanna start doing once a month, public skating, where try to get a sponsor to pay entry fees and then a donation jar for a charity of some sort.
Didn't you do that a couple times this year?
We got a sponsor, but we didn't do it with charity. But we wanted to move forward.
People
We
didn't
tried
have
to
to
do
pay
a
to
boat ride
skate.
and they didn't do it at DU this year.
And maybe, like the Christmas parade we did, and Christmas lights, maybe we wanna rent a bus and pick up people around along the way and have a bus. When we went on the bus, that was fun.
Well, that was a ball.
Yeah,
So that's suggestion is that
I mean,
with their,
What was the bus?
It was the bus for judging the,
Oh,
Marshall
gotcha.
Booth came, yeah, and we rode around on the bus and,
Clarence had his pass.
yeah, we had fun.
We had fun.
I really want to find out who the judges are next year before they're judging.
On
You don't
the,
trust us?
Just curious.
Okay.
on the 29th, they're supposed to be bringing experts too on each topic, so there may be people
Yeah.
from the substance abuse field and
Right.
the mental health field that could
I'm sure
give
there will be.
some ideas of what you could do to be effective, and so. I also, did we mention that there was gonna be music? Aaron
We
Garcia-
did last time, yeah.
Aaron Garceau has a jazz band that will be playing, and there'll also be a couple duets playing guitar and singing. So, and I believe they're all Highgate residents, so.
Oh, wow. Cool.
You can do Halloween lights too, people put up Halloween lights, like
Yep.
my sister, where the music goes to the music.
So great.
People are as much into Halloween lights
Oh,
as they
yeah.
are Christmas lights.
Yes.
oh, absolutely.
No question.
So
We
great.
do adult trick or treating. That'd be cool. Adult trick or treating.
Again, I don't think about that one.
You do the adult trick and have.
We were friends.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, the 29th, that's a great spot to bring that up.
Yeah, it is.
Yep, and that is a big community party to start things off and get people excited, and
Hopefully a good turnout for that.
so wives, girlfriends, husbands, drag them all out. You don't have to cook.
I got rid of all my flyers.
nice.
Bring your
I
children,
got another whole stack.
I got them all.
bring your children, their opinions matter too.
They do.
Did
They
everyone
do.
get their postcards?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. And those did not cost the town anything because that question has been brought up. So that was done by rural development, and we are very grateful for that.
Somebody really asked that question.
They did. Okay, so if you have 365,000, is it too much to ask for $50,000 of that money
For what? For mental health?
for mental health?
For mental health and the, I'm sure the,
Celebrations, parties,
and the transportation piece as well, part of
Yeah.
that.
transportation.
All of that mixed into the 50 grand.
You might not use it all, but it don't hurt to ask for.
Right.
Right.
And you just
Because that,
throwing out numbers now.
I keep saying, well, how many of these are gonna do and stuff, and that's exactly the number I was coming up in my head, was just throw that tag on it for that.
Yeah.
And hopefully you don't need to spend that much,
Right.
but we have it, we need it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
If we spend 5,000, I'm happy with that.
You might have somebody donate a bus for the bus ride.
Right.
You talk to these bus companies,
I'm certain we can arrange that.
you know, or like if you put on a meal, maybe somebody can donate, like a restaurant maybe donates. You know,
You can ask, that would be a tough ask after the last 2 years that they've had, so.
yeah, I know,
But it's no
don't
question.
hurt- Don't hurt to
No,
ask.
the worst thing they're gonna say is no, so absolutely it doesn't hurt to ask.
So-
This isn't concrete anyway.
No,
No.
Change it.
right, exactly.
And like I said, I'd like to see flyers, posters, other ways that we can outreach to people, especially children. And get them safe places, safe spots,
Flyers at
safe
school,
people.
flyers at school for the kids.
Absolutely.
You got, what, 4 businesses here in town, you can put posters up in,
Oh, you got businesses all over.
but right here in the village,
Yeah.
you know.
But even old people, young people, working people, struggling people, everybody's had a hard time. So 50,
I'm good with that.
any thoughts? Too much money, too little money? Okay, we'll leave that at 50. Richard, do you wanna put some of the $315,000 left into the transfer station fund?
Yeah.
How much? 50?
Yeah.
Or you wanna go 100?
Yeah. Probably won't take you 100. We won't use any file.
I was thinking 75.
I like 75.
Yeah.
75? Going once, going twice? 75 it is.
We're just throwing darts at a wall at this point,
Yeah.
but
Like it says, not in stone.
no.
Right. Okay, 75. Okay. What do you want to do next? The library, airport, or wastewater, or Michigan Road?
What do you got, 225 left roughly?
Yeah, roughly.
Do library next maybe?
Okay.
Is there a fix that needs to be done here for wastewater and septic?
For the,
For this building?
yes.
Is that cool?
That's infrastructure, right? That's for infrastructure?
It is infrastructure. We do have some money for that project. So,
But yes, that needs to get fixed.
yes.
I didn't know that if there's money or
Yeah,
just
there is.
band-aiding and.
No, we
We need to rip the Band-Aid off, do surgery and have it fixed.
yeah, we tried to fix it last summer, just, was it quite enough?
I'm just thinking of unfinished
Yes.
projects that we wanted to do, if parts of them.
Yep.
I could follow in this.
Unfortunately, the communications is not covered, as we talked about it.
Right, yeah.
Communications for public works, and it doesn't.
So Richard suggested library.
How much do they have in CIP?
150, is it? 125?
It looks like they had 125 and you just put in 50.
So 175. 50? Yeah. 50?
How about that?
75? More, less?
You got 225, you got 3 more things that you're looking at, right?
Yeah, you get 260 basically.
260,
Oh, sorry, no. Oh, you can tell I'm tired.
I'm just
40.
gonna step up and tell Ed you're getting close to finishing.
Okay.
I can't send a
Yep.
text to him for some reason.
Alright, so 240.
do 75 for the library and divide the rest up for the last 2 projects.
Say that again, Kyle?
I said 75 for the library and divide the rest of the money for the last 2 projects.
Well, there's actually 3,
Oh, 3 projects.
if you
more.
include the Macy Road.
Well, you got Macy Road, you got
Airport,
Airport,
Village Core.
Village Core. And the Village Core and the library.
Yes.
So there's, alright.
Um,
7,000 something. You said 240?
240, yeah.
I don't know, like you said, 50,000 for the library and then divvy it up.
I say 50 for the village core and 50 for the library, to divide it up between the other 2.
I like it.
That sounds good.
So 50 Village Core,
50 library,
50 library,
divide the other up.
so
The other
70
two
and
are
70.
Airport and
Macy Road.
and that's for this year. And if we get grants to cover,
Great.
yeah, fabulous. If we don't, then we have a little bit ahead that we don't have to worry about or ask voters for or any of those other things. Plus, we'll have another $500,000 into our accounts next year. So, if we get in a pickle, we'll have money coming.
Something for that, huh?
Right. So, Village Core 50, Airport 70, Library 50, Transfer Station 75, Rec Department 135, Macy Road 70, and FUN and Mental Health 50 grand.
Hey, Sheriff.
Yes?
Just thought about something that came up a while back,
Yeah?
about the dog kennel situation. Maybe upgrading that, throwing some money towards that.
There was the issue of the dog kennel down at the shop,
Same
Shut it out.
sand shed.
Okay, yeah, maybe something a little more.
that wouldn't take very much money.
No, yeah. Okay, we'll keep that on the back burner for,
Yep.
we'll steal it out of whatever fund as we go along. Okay, hopefully hopefully that adds up to $500,000, more or less. Should be a little less.
Well, shopping spree like that, so,
It's hard because we have, you know, a small number of people, but as this is not written in stone and it gives us just an idea.
and it lets them know that we are still here and thinking.
And
That's pretty much what it's about.
right, right. So do I have a motion to accept those figures for our first spending allocation?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Fern said "Arr."
Sorry, doll.
Okay.
Made me laugh.
So we'll start with that.
Okay, I'll take a copy of that.
You might not want to, but yeah. All right. Our dog ordinance is not done yet, correct?
Correct.
So, are there any other public comments for non-executive? Okay. Thank you all for joining us.
I don't think so.
Sorry.
Just two quick things. One thing was the Orelli pond we
Yes.
talked about. Gary went up with the auger and drilled down. He drilled about 3 feet deep, and it was black muck. He said that it would be a last case want to be able to draft from that pond, because it's going to plug the engines up. I mean, odds are it won't hurt the engine, but it's just going to plug the strainers up because there are screens in them.
Yeah.
So that pond is in desperate need of help if we're going to consider it as a fire pond resource. The second thing I had was, I'm not sure if this should be I think it should be in public. I don't know if you saw the article with Liza Kaminsky.
Yes.
Liza, actually, there was a grant paid for a chunk of that, but she actually out of pocketed about $295 of that money
For the crisis?
for her crisis, to get certified. And I don't think she should have to pay for that out of her pocket. I don't know if we can find the funds to just reimburse her for what she out of pocketed. She's the only certified crisis consultant, I believe, in 10 towns in the northern Vermont. And I just don't think she should have to pay for that out of her own pocket.
I would agree.
I make a motion that we pay that for.
Yeah, I would second it.
To reimburse Liza $290.
I believe it was $295. I apologize. I did bring my phone because I'm sick of my phone. If it had legs, it'd be running across this table right now. But I have the actual. I asked her to send me what she actually paid. She sent me the copy of her transaction from her bank card,
So,
because I just didn't think that she should. The service that she is going to help provide,
which is right up the mental health alley.
is right up the mental health alley, and for her to be able to stand up and do that, and for nothing.
That goes with that money.
And what she's done is she's gone to this program to help her fellow emergency workers. So she is available for counseling for our ambulance service, fire department,
And please,
and
any
police.
first responder.
Who come upon, horrific things that many of us would never want to ever see and would never want our family to be involved in. But it happens.
You can tell you from first-hand experience, Richard and myself, 30, 40 years ago, you shut your mouth, you didn't talk about it. If you said something to somebody,
You just try to deal with it yourself.
you just deal with it. And times have changed.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in asking for help. And that's what she's gone to this school for, is to learn how to debrief, departments and so forth. And can't thank her enough for doing it.
Absolutely.
I just don't think she should have to pay for it.
No. Yeah, and to be honest, the select board has very much made that a priority for our fire department. When you have those incidents, the fire officers are required by the select board to reach out to a crisis counselor for their members. Whether they show up or not is their deal, but the town wants to provide it, so that's there. And you don't have to struggle by yourself, that there are people there to help you. And I'm very proud of Eliza. She does a hell of a job, and she does this because she wants to help her community, and I'm very grateful for that. Absolutely.
She also said that she would be willing to be a representative for the town to the emergency planning board that's supposed to be developed soon, so.
She'd be a good person for it.
Yeah, because when we have emergency planning, like when the flood happened, there were an amazing amount of people available.
Yes, there was.
Everything from the cold water rescue to helicopters to whatever we needed was very available and very immediately. And that was my first crisis, and that was quite a learning experience, I'll tell you.
I lived it and it was no fun, believe me. It was no fun, and without those people behind me to support me, to help me, I don't know what I would have done. I mean, it was scary. It was really scary. And then you get there the first time, and then they said, make sure you keep your bags packed, and it's like, don't tell me I've got to go through this again. 5.5 weeks later, I got evacuated again. And it was scary. I don't ever want to go through that ever again, ever.
The fire department, the ambulance service, which was AmCare at that time, Wendy, Heidi, Wendy was on the phone calling people to make sure they were all right. Where did they live? Did they need help? Do they have animals? How do we get them out? Regional planning had somebody that was basically available 24 hours a day, which was amazing. Sean Coleman was great for us. Gave us that connection to higher sources of help. Doctors volunteer to be on call for emergencies like this. The Red Cross, the schools opened up a
Marshall Police Bus.
yeah,
transfer.
absolutely. It was amazing.
It's amazing. It was just amazing.
So that is in place, even though you don't see it very often and you don't realize it, but
Until you live it, you don't realize.
yeah, but there is a plan in place in town for all of that. So it's pretty amazing. It's great. It's a little scary when it's happening, but the town was fantastic. Food was brought, clothes were brought, everything. Anything else?
That's it for me, thank you.
Okay. So I would add that the highway department is having some difficulties. We have an issue with the 2014 Western Star. We are working to see if we can get any recourse, which I've been on the phone today trying to contact some people and trying to get some invoicing and some details about its life history, so more to follow. That no, that's
Wish.
the tandem, and actually it has a hole in the block, the engine block. That is in an odd place. I would expect that it was a casting failure on the block, but like I said, more to follow. We're going to have to do something about it, whether it be replace an engine or replace a block or get warranty or try to weld it up, but we are in the early stages of that. So just so the town knows that we know we have a problem, we're working on it. See if we can get it covered. So, anything else? Anything online?
Nothing for me. This is Randy.
Okay, thank you so much. I'd make a motion to exit the regular select board meeting and enter into executive with our legal counsel, Heidi Birch Valenta, Ty Schwanier, Randy Connolly, Robert Clark,
Mike Johnson.
Mike, sorry, I'm thinking of.
Robert's our engineer.
Yes, I was thinking of the appraisal, sorry. So the DRB board,
Rick Timley.
yeah, Wendy, you're set, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Me and Sue get to leave.
Yes, yeah, I was gonna say, I